this decision earlier this year in the lead up to the budget, or?
Yeah, it was a few months ago, but I had to do the budget. You might recall I went to China and a few things like that. But I sort of made that decision, and that was about a matter of timing, whether I did it in the middle of the year or at the end of the year. But once you make a decision in your head, it's hard to then hold out, implementing it. And I wanted to also make sure that my successor has enough time to embed and understand the role. And, they're very experienced, all the people around me, very experienced ministers and so forth. But being the Premier, it's sort of got that 7 day a week, every waking hour aspect to it. And so, it takes a little while to understand that and to get yourself used to it and make sure that you're prepared for what may come.
Do you have a preference for who succeeds you as Premier and member for Rockingham?
I'm sorry, mate?
Do you have a preference for who succeeds you as Premier?
I'll leave that to my colleagues, and I'll leave that to the party.
You say that you're tired, you're burnt out. From our perspective, that doesn't, I've not seen any of that in the lead up. Where has that kind of been manifesting in your life? Like, how long has that been kind of dragging on you?
Well, I'm glad you didn't see it. I'm very pleased. It shows that I've hidden it well. Sleepless nights, excess worry about things. The COVID experience, that, basically 3 years of every day standing here or wherever it might be, having to deal with all that and all the pressure that was associated with that drained me a lot. But just being the Premier it drains you. I'll tell you something, I'm not naturally a combative person. I don't think I'm naturally a combative person. I'm not naturally confrontational. But every day I have to engage in argument and debate and confrontation in one way or another. And I'm kind of tired of it. So that's political life. If you don't want to do that, don't get into politics. I'm tired of that endless confrontation and the endless, being frustrated about things or issues or whatever it might be. So it's probably better for me now that I say farewell before I start showing it.
What words would you use to describe that almost 30 years? Like, how do you reflect that?
How would I describe it? It's been wonderful. Wonderful. I was interested in politics as a kid. I liked reading the newspaper. My dad in particular was a strong Labor supporter, even though we grew up in small businesses. He was he always had an idea of being fair to everyone, my dad. And he was always really strong on that and really, talked about past political leaders, in particular, Gough Whitlam and Bob Hawke and people like that. So I had the interest as a young guy. As it turned out, I never actually expected it to amount to anything, but it did, and I'm very grateful for that. I couldn't have imagined anything better. It's just been a wonderful experience, done the best I can. I'm pretty much spent now, so I'll hand over to someone else.
How do you think you'll be remembered? How do you want to be remembered?
Well, that's for others, really. Others decide that. I'm not leaving with any regrets. I mean, there's obviously things I'd like to see through. I'd like to open some of the, new rail lines, and I'd like to see the passing of some of our legislative reform. I was talking to the Cabinet this morning, the equal opportunities laws and the gun laws and the planning laws and a whole range of other social reforms that will make the state stronger and better. But I'll be able to see it. I just won't be at the press conference, that's all. So those things are good. How do you want to be seen? I suppose as an achiever would be the main thing. Someone who made the state stronger and better.